Here we go. Hi, I'm Cosmin, the coach of Web Tennis 24. I would like to share with you my experience, a personal experience that taught me why beginning players, or in general children, quit playing tennis. The year was 2004 when I got a call to work as an assistant coach for a city program. I was young, barely spoke English, in my late 20s, and I took this opportunity. Watch the ball, Cesara. I took this opportunity because I wanted to learn and improve my teaching skills. The city was organizing these beginning classes, and we were greeting these enthusiastic big crowds of children who were coming with their parents, hoping that they are going to learn how to play tennis. My boss at that time, who was an elderly lady, even though she was very kind with children, she didn't have enough knowledge to help players fall in love with the sport. Why? Because she was stressing the technique and discipline to the point where a lot of those kids were waiting in line to hit the ball and barely getting any exercise. So because of that, even though their parents were paying for 6 weeks in advance, quite a few of them were quitting the lessons even after the first two classes. So by the end of those 6 weeks, a session, we were left with barely 30% of the kids that initially signed up for that program. So obviously something had to be done. So, but that experience taught me a valuable lesson, which is people play tennis because they enjoy it, and they quit if they don't. It's just that simple. I have to say that during those 2 years that I worked for the city, I did not let things continue the way they were. So I talked to my boss, and we decided to implement the following. One, we decided to split the kids in 2 groups and rotate them, which means 1 week, half of them would be working with me and the other half with my boss, and then the next week we would switch. So in this way, the kids learned tips from both of us, obviously with respect to each other's methodology. We were both teaching the same technique, my boss and I, but we were just, we were offering the kids a chance to get different tips and hear different voices. So that was the first thing we implemented. Second one, we decided to use fast-paced drills, which allow players to not wait in line for too long. Third one, we decided to teach the technique in the beginning and remind it to our students throughout the lesson. And if we had to work with those who struggled, we had to keep the other ones occupied so that nobody was left wandering on the court. The fourth thing that we did, which is probably the most important one, was to implement at least two periods of fun activities, to play fun drills and games so that kids enjoyed their lesson even more. The first fun activity was going to be at the middle of the lesson, after all the repetition that they did with the technical aspects. And the second one was at the end of the lesson, so that kids would leave their class happy and loud, and especially parents who came to pick them up would see how much fun they had during our lessons. So this experience working for the city taught me something that I've been applying in my lessons throughout my teaching career, which means if you make tennis lessons fun, kids will continue to come to their practice. Now you're probably wondering, where can you find drills and games that you can apply with your beginning players? In my opinion, there are 2 ways. You can search the YouTube or internet for free resources, but that can take a lot of time, because we know that free information sometimes is hard to find. But this is time that you can best spend with your family or working on probably more important projects. Or the second option would be to enroll in programs such as Best Tennis Drills and Games for Kids, which I personally developed. And it is a great collection of some of my best drills and games that I have been applying in my teaching career with thousands of beginning players, and I know they work. So I've been doing this work. I know what the beginning players like. I know what gets them exciting. I have gathered an impressive collection of drills and games that are great for improving their technique, their footwork, hand-eye coordination, speed, and so on. You can do your own research or keep it simple and take what others have done and know it works. So I developed this program, Best Tennis Drills and Games for Kids, so that you can take my proven drills and games that are guaranteed for your beginning players to love.